What's up with my phone? I can't understand why my phone's not working right. Anyway, I'm going to go vertical tonight. We're going vertical. We're not going to go horizontal. What a night. I haven't gone live with you guys in so long. I had to do it. Because I was thinking, I even forgot how to do it. How do you do this? I'm in the studio too much. Don't you think it's too much studio? You know, most people watch this when I'm like this. Like this is what people watch. I got a studio, I got a team, I got a beautiful everything all set up. But guess what? People watch you when you're doing this. All right. Well, for those of you that have seen me before, you know, we're going to have a rant. I had to do Flashpoint tonight. Well, I don't have to do it, but I mean, there's certain nights when I don't want to do it. And like tonight was one of them. Why would you say that? Oh, the light doesn't go on. That's nice. Well, because tonight won't be just any night. Oh, got the light on. I have clickers. You know, life goes quicker with clickers. So, you had to deal with the elections tonight. Did you know we had elections tonight? But here, like I said on Flashpoint, everybody was depressed when I got on the show. They'd already done 2 hours with David Barton and doing an analysis. Oh, we lost this Virginia, we lost New Jersey, we lost the Attorney General. The guy's going to be the Attorney General. What's this bumblebrain Jones or something? I'm going to shoot the other guy. I'm going to kill his kids. He's texting about how he fantasized about killing his opponent and shooting him and burying his kids. He gets elected. Well, what it tells you is Democrats, for the most part, let's be honest about this. They don't have a conscience. I mean, they don't have a very well-developed conscience because, you know, they're screaming and are happy because $60 million is going to be given to trans surgeries in New York City. Yay! Mutilate your children's genitals. Woo! And that's what they're going to be doing. I'll probably get banned now for this statement. Back in the day, you couldn't say that until Donald Trump came along. All of a sudden, you got a little freedom of speech. Freedom comes with Republicans. Democrats lock you up, vax you, digital ID you, pack you up in a crate, silence you. Don't get me going. I haven't done a rant in a long time. All right, so if you want to really feel here's what I told the people tonight. I put my microphone like this and I did my broadcast. And I said, don't be upset. Because New Jersey, Democrat territory. I grew up over there, man. It's Democrat. Same thing with New York City. Hasn't had a Republican intelligent, gene in its brain since Giuliani. Remember that? Had Dinkins and de Blasio and Eric Adams. And now, they got a really interesting character there, Mondami. And Mondami's good. It's good. It's a good night. What you know is the blue territories and the Democrats are going to be blue. Nothing to see there. But you see, the Democrats have a problem tomorrow morning. They're going to be all infused with a fresh enthusiasm, like there's a blue wave. A blue wave. Watch that hand motion. Blue wave. Well, I don't call New Jersey and New York City a blue wave. And by the way, Virginia's so got their nose in the trough of Washington, D.C. money that don't think for a moment that you're really going to have, occasionally you'll have a Republican, Youngkin, an aberrational great, politician that can get in there on the screw up of McAuliffe, who said that the teachers and the government really are the ones who will take care of your kids. And so they kind of infuriated a little bit of a backlash. My point being, in my articulation, that don't be so upset. Democrats are going to vote for Democrats. And you can even try to kill your opponent or be a Muslim who hates Jews, who loves trans, because somehow they know that if they can cozy up with the progressives, the Islamics and the progressives together could probably wipe out America if they can pull it off. So nothing, I don't know. Listen, you got to question the sanity of anybody that's going, gays for Palestine. Gays for Palestine while they throw you off the roof to your death. Well, anyway, I had to do those elections today. The good news. What's the good news, Lance? Well, the good news is that Mondami will not be, see, if he had almost won, he'd be like Ocasio-Cortez and, then the squad. He'd be supercharged because he doesn't have to show his irresponsible decision-making and the byproducts of his bad judgment. He doesn't have to show the crime going up and the anti-Semitism attacks and the poverty and the people moving out of New York. He doesn't have to show that if he doesn't get elected, but he becomes a sensational. Ooh, why don't we just try? Let's get somebody who's photogenic and Muslim that loves trans surgery. And then if he isn't elected, he can't be tested. But now, I think this might work out to our advantage. Because in the midterms, all the Democrats have to explain to what degree they agree with Mamdani, or does he represent an extremism, or is he the new definition of the Democrat Party? Because if it's the new definition, ain't gonna play so good in Peoria. So you see it all over the country. It works good in New York City, liberal New York. By the way, I heard my Texas governor said he's going to put 100%, almost taking a page from Trump, putting 100% tariff on anyone from New York that tries to come here to Texas. I couldn't understand that. First of all, can he do that? I know Trump's, the Supreme Court's deciding tomorrow if Trump has the authority to do the tariffs. I pray to God the Supreme Court doesn't do something screwy and destroy his entire leverage of what he built globally for the sake of the American economy, which evidently was the number one issue that cost the election for those Republicans for trying to carve out a future in Democrat territory. The economy, I don't mean to be disparaging, but Democrats that voted for Democrats because of the economy are like, I don't know, people voting for icebergs while they're on the deck of the Titanic. Do you understand the Democrats are the reason the economy is in the mess it's in? It was Biden, and I know weak and spineless Republicans went along with it, but they're $2 trillion in debt, and they want another trillion to pay for 14 million illegals. We don't have the money. Print it. That's what drives up the cost of everything. It's the illegals driving the cost of everything. That plus the Democrats that were here before Trump got in office drove the cost up. That's what they voted for. Voting my pocketbook. You're not, you dummy. You're voting for the consequence of the bad fiscal management that happened before Trump came on. Your only hope is the Republican hope. All they can do is communism. Well, that's great. So anyway, people want to leave. So we're going to be taxing 100% tariffs or something on New Yorkers. A tariff on you and a tariff on you. And I thought, why? Then I realized, because it's all Democrats coming into Texas. They don't want them here. Byron Daniels better think about this. He's up there advertising, come to Florida. If you're a New Yorker and you're fleeing the New York state, come here where you could vote Democrat and sit in the backyard in your pajamas in Boca Raton and sip a latte. Yeah, the Democrats, listen, stay in New York and send us some letters and tell us what it's like. Just give us, we need it. We need the laboratory of democracy to give us the petri dish experience of Mamdani's masterful management of the mystical smile that is going to, by degrees, turn up the dial on the suffering and misery index of New Yorkers. Because that's what's going to happen as sure as I'm sitting here doing a live tonight rant. I haven't done these in a long time. It's very cathartic. It's cathartic to watch. It's cathartic. It's cathartic for me. Let me. You want to know what really gets me? Let me flip this screen around. See if I can flip the screen. So I go to the Drudge Report. I hate the Drudge Report because it got taken over by Matt Drudge. Lost his mind years ago, and. But them women take New Jersey, Virginia, MAGA rebuked. Mamdani makes it a sweet New York City, seashells. And then, almost prophetically, next thing you see is a picture of a plane crash in Louisiana. Well, here you go. This is Mamdani's New York. There you go. You can't ask for an ironic bit of positioning there. So let me go over here for a second. Virginia results, New Jersey results. Which one of these do you want me to do? Florida Trump voters, guilt, anger, bewilderment. Oh, shut up. Give me an actual factual headline. Zoran. Will this go over like Barack? I'm wondering, will this become as popular as Barack Obama? Zoran Mamdani? We'll find out. This is the new trend. Social is going to be the Marxist Muslim combination, guaranteed to take you out. All right, so Mamdani won the New York mayor race, and follow the election live. Nothing there to see. He won it. Okay, big deal. I thought I was going to have some more headlines for you, but evidently the Drudge Report is not quite there yet. I'm going to tell you this. I think this is going to work to our advantage. Like I said, I told him in Flashpoint tonight, I said, what did you expect? It's not a blue wave. You ever hear my theory on the sheep and the goat nations? Jesus talked about in the last days, the nations are going to be, the dark are going to get darker, the wicked are going to get more wicked, the light are going to get brighter. I really think you're going to see a contrast between sheep states and goat states, blue and red. It's going to be more conspicuous. And that, but at a certain point, sociologic realities are going to settle in. You're going to see the crime. You're going to see the economics. You're going to see the people. Remember, like Trump just cleaned up Washington. Nobody's covering that because the news media is still under the control of a principality of reality distortion. He cleaned up Washington, D.C. If it was a Democrat that did it, every day, it's so nice in Washington. I can walk down the street in Washington. It was never like this before. But Trump does it. It's like, forget about it. So you're going to see blue territories. I believe it's a spiritual thing. I believe it's like a spiritual index. And the blue territories is where I wanted to start seeing a sociologic study of the crime rate, the depression rate, the divorce rate, the addiction rate. I want to know a little bit more about the consequences of living under the canopy of a stronghold. Don't you? I think it would be interesting to do that comparison. I see them all the time when when it talks about states people are moving to and states people are moving out of, and that's your blue and red right there. But still, I think it's very important that we start to observe what's happening in New York. There's going to be an exodus because people that are there, who wants to live in it's going to be. I mean, for the people that are like voting for him, at first there's going to be this euphoria, this sense of newness and novelty, and I'm doing something and we're going somewhere. The problem is someone has to pay for where you got to go. And the moment someone pays for where you got to go and they don't have the money, they got to take it from someone that's got it. And then the person that's got it is going to be upset that they have to give it to you. Why can't you get it yourself? You see what happens. Socialism's great. So you run out of other people's money. And those people that have the money are looking right now and saying, I think you're going to come for my money. I'm going to go someplace else. Where are they going to go? I'm getting the heck out of Dodge. I'm going to Florida. I'm going to Texas. Guess where they're not going? California. I'm going to have Che on in the studio tomorrow. I admire his courage. He's a pastor, running for president. Running for governor. Running for governor. It's going to be a tough climb for him. I'm going to do an interview with him in the studio tomorrow. But I mean, go in California. See, it's the reality distortion field. And over there, where they're about to add get this, let me see if they got the numbers right. 40% of California votes Republican, 60% votes Democrat. But that's a problem. Of course, you got 13 million Christians that are in California, the highest concentration of Christians in the United States, and one state is in California, but half of them aren't registered to vote, and the half that are registered to vote don't vote. What the heck is in the water? I don't know, but I'm not drinking it. Anyway, he's running for governor. And it's going to be a tough slog over there for the reasons I just said. However, if 40% of the state votes Republican, 60% votes Democrat, don't you think there should be 40% representation, at least, of California in Congress, reflecting the Republicans that are in the state? Oh, no, the Newsom's not doing that. I want you to understand something, how the Democrats think. He's going to crush it. So that the 40% of the population of California will only have 19% representation in the United States. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to eliminate 5 counties. They're going to take away the counties that the Republicans are in to force their representation to be disproportionate. So they will take 5 counties, not reflecting the aggregate balanced voting of the state, but distorting it so the 40% are reduced to a 19% representation. Oh boy, that's the kind of arithmetic that gives you a California economy. Anyway, I want you to see something. Trust. Actually, it's backwards because it's dyslexic. Let me fix this for you. See, I have this. Trust is the foundation of any team you're building. Without trust, you can't get through conflict. You see, without trust, you can't work your way through conflict. And if you can't work through your conflict, you'll never get a commitment on solutions. And you'll never get accountability for delivering on that commitment, and you'll never get results. This is an organization. I use this pyramid because this is team building. This is any company. The foundation has to be trust. Now, what the enemy is doing is he's eroding our trust in all our institutions. We don't trust the FBI. We don't trust Dan Bongino. We used to love Dan. Now we don't trust him because we're so convinced that the whole system is corrupt. Let me use my pen for illustration purposes. So we don't want to trust the media, so we listen to conspiracy theories. Now we got nut jobs we listen to on YouTube and our favorite Substack. We listen to our own crazy people telling us their conspiracy theory. And hence we're not able to get out of the conflict zone. We get into deeper conflict because we don't know who's right. We'll never get a commitment. The only thing that could possibly save this is for the church to actually get to the point where it begins to move together as a collective force that has greater unity, that we start to hear God and trust in the wisdom of what God is speaking to us. Then we can work through the conflict of this cultural civil war. Then we can get commitment. You want to know one of the reasons why the church did so, how Republicans and Christians did so sucky in Virginia and in New Jersey? Forget about New York City for the moment, although the one guy I think's a Christian screwed up the election, Silva. I think he took all the votes that Cuomo could have got. So there you go. He destroyed the possibility of keeping Mondami from getting elected. But we can't trust the leaders in New Jersey because the church didn't engage the evangelicals. The church didn't engage the pro-life Catholics. The left did a better job of mobilizing their disciples than the Christians because the Christian leadership in New Jersey doesn't want to get involved with politics. Like the New York Christians, for the most part, unless you get out on Long Island, they don't want to get involved with politics, and Trump embarrasses them. I'm telling you the truth. The church doesn't mobilize its people, so the weak church can't take on the principalities of the darkness, the dark Stygian darkness of the Tower of Mordor, extending. Trump went into Washington, D.C., kaboom! Ha-ha! Like Gandalf, he went in there and drove the spirit out. But New York City, and I'm just telling you how it works. Those dark principalities control the territory over those places. I'm saying sheep and goat nations is sheep and goat states and sheep and goat territories, which is a reflection of the spiritual cosmology of the atmosphere, which is reflected in the culture and the decay of conscience, and it's revealed in the voting propensities of a people who can elect a guy as an attorney general who says he wants to shoot his opponent and kill his kids and still get elected. You have a constituency voting that doesn't have a conscience there. Not a very strong one. But I mean, check out. I might be wrong about New Jersey, but I don't think I am. Tell me the strong, Holy Ghost, citizen engaged, spiritual warfare churches of New York City and New Jersey and Virginia. I like to know, because my sense is they're not there. But I can tell you, they are in Florida, they are in Texas, they are in the red states. And you need them there. I'm going to go to Michigan. I don't want to have protesters show up. I don't know if I should even let you know. I'm going to be going to Owasso, Michigan. I'll tell you that. Used to be a great city where a lot of the management that worked in Detroit lived there back in the 40s and 50s, and early 60s. But what I want you to know is I'm going to be going up there to meet with a group of patriots. It's going to be great in Owasso, Michigan. I should start to list where I'm going, don't you think? This is a mistake I make. I'm traveling. I'm not telling you guys where I go. You don't even think I'm doing anything. You only see me as in a studio. I'm actually all over the place. I'm in Washington. I'm in Mar-a-Lago. Going to be there. Last time I went down there, I did a broadcast and I got in trouble. I got in trouble because, I don't know, a right-wing watch or something was tracking my movements down in Mar-a-Lago, and the group I was with was upset. So I can't always broadcast. But I'm doing it now. I'm coming back to you. Oh, there's, all right, 633 people are live right now. I'm gonna bail. I don't think I have a big enough audience to keep you guys up this late. It's 10 o'clock at night. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know, don't be disturbed by the results. You're going to hear the news in a frenzy of, oh, Trump, it's like a rebuke of MAGA. No, it isn't. It's blue states blowing their blue nose. And I still think that the Republicans could do better if they had a mobilized, in my opinion, spiritual base that was actually stirring it up and pulling things down. So don't be concerned about that. Now, the challenge is with midterms, if we don't have Trump on the ticket, then when he's on the ticket, he gets people to come out and vote for him. The problem is when he's not on the ticket, he gets people to come out and vote against him. Did you catch what I said? These guys they weren't even running against the Republicans. They were running against Donald Trump. This is why they had their No Kings March. This is why they had the government shut down. This is why they're trying to make a big deal about SNAP and robbing kids of their food because of Trump, the ogre, the dictator. They are a dysfunctional reflection of the evil that is in America. That's the Democrat Party. Demonic, you could say. So they're having a shutdown. They're going to endanger your flights. You're flying somewhere. You can thank the Democrats when planes are crashing in the news because nobody can get paid. So air traffic controllers not getting paid. Guess what? You get a second stringer on the air traffic control. The people that should be there because they're all going to get back pay. This is what really annoys me. They're all going to get back pay, but I'm not going to go. Well, if they're going to shut down, I'm taking the time off. They're going to take advantage of the shutdown to take time off. And then you know what? You got the B team up there, and then you're going to start seeing planes crashing, planes hitting on the runway. And nobody wants to show. The Democrats will say, it's Trump's fault. These people are like Marxist Muslims who will commit jihad against you and think they're doing God a service. That's why we have to take over the reins of power in government. Does that make sense? Well, this is the Lance rant. Telling it like it is. Nobody else. People come up to me all the time. They go, I appreciate you having the courage to say what you say. Boy, you should hear what I don't say. Anyway, I'll be checking things out, be checking up on you. It's 10:10 now. By the way, John 10:10, Jesus says, I have come that they might have life, they might have it more abundantly. Be encouraged. America is experiencing its third great awakening. And even nights like this, when you're seeing losses, work to your advantage. Because they actually create the Stygian black backdrop of night against which the stellar stars of God's hope shine as a light in a dark place. And God is giving us hope that America is going to turn because you got 3 more years of Trump's policies and his economic labors that are undoing what Biden and weak Republicans did for the last 4 years. His labors to bring $14 trillion of foreign investment in, $300 billion of tariff income in, to adjust the entire global market so that we are now having manufacturing return to the United States, so that this hemispheric dominance can begin to be felt with Argentina, and then dealing with Venezuela, and Colombia is waking up and realizing that something's happening. China's decided they're going to chill on all their devious ways for 3 years till they get rid of Trump, because Trump's a problem for them. But America normally goes back to electing a Democrat, which they can take advantage of. So they're hoping that they can subvert our next election cycle and Trump will be kneecapped in midterms and not be able to do what he's doing. But the point that I'm making is Trump's policies economically are going to start to pay off within the next 3 months. Right now, Wall Street likes it, but Main Street doesn't feel it. He's like the Wall Street crowd, the business crowd is like, okay, well, at first I was worried. At first I was concerned. It looks like it's going to work out. Yeah, well, guess what? Main Street's really not feeling it yet because they're still living off of the effects of the deficit spending and the budget mismanagement. You understand what I'm saying? Not Trump's fault. Trump's remedying it. But short-sighted people voting the pocketbook, not realizing the problem they've got is the Democrats they're voting for. Anyway, you understand. I'm repeating myself now, but I'm repeating it for a purpose. Trump's economic policies are going to be kicking in within this next quarter, meaning we're going to be able to go into midterms with some strength. We're going to be able to go into midterms, I think, with a better backing. However, Trump is in on the ticket, and that's a problem because the Democrats run against Trump, and he gets turnout big because they can't stand him. They can't stand him like the Pharisees hated Jesus. And because he's not on the ticket, I hate to say it, it's a weird thing. It's just weird, right? But people go, well, Trump's not on the ticket. They don't vote. Not so good. Not smart either. All right, people, I'll be reading your comments. Any questions you've got? Any thoughts that you have? Let me know. And, oh, yes, Bragg was reelected. Of course, Bragg was reelected in New York. That's important because Bragg isn't going to lock anyone up, and Mondavi is a crime wave. So you have the crime wave, and everyone knows you're not going to get locked up with Bragg in office. So you got a great combination there. You got the Batman. Let's see, the Batman isn't in Gotham City anymore, so the Penguin and the Joker are running it. But it'll be interesting because, you see, the Democrats all over the country are going to have a problem because we're going to be able to say, to what degree do you not agree with Mondami? To what degree are you not agreeing with your base, which is the 25% of their base that are actually radicals tearing down America that just want a socialist experiment which will result in a Chinese takeover. All right, well, the rant is over. Let me see your comments and like, share, and by the way, gold and silver. Just if you haven't done it yet, for $50, I think you can get. I think that you got a free silver piece coming with Birch Gold with, I don't know, a certain amount of gold. But go to lancewallnau.com/gold. If you've lasted till now with this whole rant, I had a lady come up and kiss me on the cheek the other day. I made so much money off of you, young man. I like being called young man. What happened? She went to Birch Gold. You see, $50, I think, a troy ounce of silver has gone up 200%. Why shouldn't you have a few shekels that you can cash in on during this economic period of instability? The silver's mine and the gold is mine, and I can give you a report on that and can talk to an expert for free. lancewallnau.com/gold. See what happens. I'll talk to you again shortly. God bless you guys. Thanks for joining me.